then at 15 with Aston Villa. It's the 3rd of December 2019. We're back for the live commentary against QPR as expected. Away from home, should be a tricky little game, but one that I think we can definitely pull off a win in. Anyway, since last time, we might as well go through the fixtures. Last time we were just entering our kind of bad run of fixtures, I suppose. But we did manage to beat Liverpool 3-2. Another one that I'd advise you to check out the last episode if you didn't already. It was a dinger with us turning it around with 4 minutes to go to win 3-2 after being 2-1 down. We then did lose though 1-0 at home to Chelsea. A fairly uneventful game, was just won by Andre Schürrle in the 71st minute, which was disappointing. Because the game was even enough. Like, Chelsea had probably the better, they had the better of it, but not much actually happened. Like, we have a look at the edge of match stats. Clear-cut chances 3-2, so we had our opportunities. We just didn't take them when they came our way. And we came out of the game with a 1-0 loss, which is disappointing. Next off, we lost 4-2 away at Arsenal, which was another very disappointing result. Robbie Byrne gave us the lead in the 13th minute before Jordy Classy equalised in the 18th. Robbie Byrne gave us the lead in the 26th minute for Timo Horn's own goal equalised for Arsenal in the 29th minute before Alexander Mitrovic scored in the 80th minute and Mattia Destra in the 83rd to give Arsenal the win. As you can see, it was hard on ourselves. We were the better team throughout. Robbie Byrne playing very well, so did Saibi. But we did come away from the Emirates with nothing. We then did travel to Portsmouth, where we drew disappointingly 1-1 away from home. Hichem Saibi for us, Mustafa Yatabarvi for them, equalising. Then we played Stoke away from home and won 3-1. Lucas Boye, Saibi and Robbie Byrne on the score sheet. Thorgan Hazard with a consolation goal for Stoke. We then beat Southampton 4-2. Good win this one. Nathan, Robbie Byrne and Lucas Boye had given us a 3-0 lead before Jesse Lingard and Bruno Zuccolini did bring it back to 3-2. But where Nathan scored his second of the day to give us a nice 4-2 win. And lastly, we drew 2-2 at home to Newcastle. We were behind twice in this game through Raul Jimenez and Joe Allen. We were behind through Raul Jimenez. Pereira and Bonazzoli scored to make it 2-1 before Joey Allen equalised for that 2-2 draw. Which leaves us in the league. We're currently in 4th place, 1 point ahead of Spurs, who are in 5th, and 3 points ahead of Arsenal in 6th. Both of them they do have a game in hand on ourselves, so we can't look too far into being in 4th. But we can look into being in kind of 5th place by right now. We've got a game against QPR today where we're looking to push on, I suppose. Player stats wise, it's been really dominated by this man himself, Robbie Byrne, the young Birmingham man. He's an absolute tank. I don't know what is it in him, because really, like, you look at his technical stats and he's absolutely brutal. You know, he's got 17 dribbling, but 6 finishing, 9 first touch, 10 crossing, pretty average stuff. But 20 bravery, 14 determination, and 15 work rate do help him out, alongside some very, very good physical stats. But 11 games, 7 goals, 7 assists so far this year. Absolutely stunning from the 18-year-old who's lit up the Premier League by storm this year. Alongside Saibi, who's been just as good. He's picked up an injury as of late, which has him out for which has been going on for 3 weeks. He's going to be back in 1 to 3 days. It was a twisted ankle. Another guy who's just... Now, this guy you can kind of see why he's doing well, because he just looks an absolute tank. 10 appearances, 7 goals, 3 assists in his time, 7.75 rating. Bonazzoli has been a little hot and cold, to be expected, I suppose, from a young striker. He is wanted by the likes of City, Spurs and Lyon, so he's getting interest. 9 games, 5 goals, 3 assists so far this year. And he's, of course, fighting for that spot with Lucas Boye. Again, hot and cold sort of player. He's started 5, 6 off the bench, 4 goals, 1 assist this term, which I suppose isn't too bad. Roberto Pereira, who's only just coming back from injury, so he won't start today because he's absolutely knackered. But Two starts, 2 off the bench, 4 goals and 1 assist. So you can't really argue with that. But he did have that, was it 2 to 3 month? 3 month injury through a torn hamstring suffered in early September. So he's only just back now. I suppose we might as well just go through these two as well. Nathan, the young Brazilian, is starting to come into his own a bit. 6 games, 4 off the bench, 3 goals, 2 assists this time out. Much better than his debut season at the club. So he's hopefully looking into being progressing. And Jack Grealish, another solid start to the season for the Irishman, who's still quite young, 24 years old still. 3 goals, 5 assists from his 12 appearances this time out. Yeah, so that just kind of continuing on to his extremely consistent form, you know, while in this save, which is great for him. Yeah, so we might as well get into the match, or we go through some of the youngsters. We might as well go through some of the youngsters. Stevie Bradbury, not quite improving as much this time out. He's just poor in the air, really. That's the only thing, because he's a small little guy, but physically and speed-wise, it's nobody much better than him. Lucas Mendez, a new signing, again, not really improving because he hasn't really had the games to improve, but hopefully he can still turn up for the Bucks at some stage. Cow, yeah, he's improving quite nicely, the left winger from Brazil. Trying to give him a few games here and there, see how he does. 2.9 million's worth, I think, is going to end up being a steal for ourselves. Yuri Tillmans, yeah, he's improving quite nicely. Hasn't really got the games so far well, I suppose 6 starts, 3 off the bench isn't too bad, actually, for a rotation option. Still only 22 years old, so he's still got plenty of time to grow. Again, 4 million, you can't really pass that one up, can you? Anyway, let's head into the game against QPR today. The team we have is Horn and Nets, back for Robertson, Balanta, Corey and Peruzzi. Bravo and Cleverly in the middle, Grealish, Nathan, Robbie Byrne and Bonazzoli gets the nod this time out up front. Really, it's kind of him and Boye are fairly similar in terms of games. Some of them, they kind of alternate in terms of the games they get. Bonazzoli probably gets on just a bit more than Boye gets. Boye is at the moment the second striker, but he has scored a few goals lately, which might convince me otherwise, I suppose. So here's an early corner, or not corner, early chance for QPR, and Manzini hits it straight at Timo Horn. He had a full goal to aim at. He didn't put it in, and that's lucky enough for us, really, because that was a clear-cut chance very early on and would have been a shocking start to this game here at Loftus Road. Of course, Loftus Road, you know, in real life, a bit of a narrow pitch. It's a tough enough place to go. Like, even as Hellenius there, the former Villa man, makes it 1-0 to QPR. And as I was saying, in real life, you know, it's a tough place to go. They're even showing that in the Premier League this year. They've been woeful away from home. 8 games, 8 defeats. But at home, they're quite a team, you know. It just is all different at home because it's a narrow pitch, good atmosphere. And it just kind of seems to intimidate teams. Like, of course, when Villa travelled there, they just did not turn up at all and got spanked 2-0, which was thoroughly unimpressive, I suppose. And so is this performance. We've followed up what the real team are doing, which is not what we want at all. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to bring on Boye up front, and we're going to bring on Pereira for Nathan. Pereira, he started the last game, but the last game was on the Saturday, and this is a Tuesday night fixture, so it was always going to be tough for him to start. But he's kind of in decent enough condition, and there he is, 5th goal of the season. It's only his 3rd appearance, I believe. Well, third. No, this. Oh, I don't know. I think it's only his 4th appearance overall, and he's managed to get his 5th goal of the season already. Robbie Byrne with a nice little assist to his name as well. And the substitute immediately works his magic. But they could be in again here. Oh, and they should have been, but he took it, I think, too far. Made that angle way too hard for himself and decided to blast it over. Again, another one. Peruzzi actually hasn't been playing too much games. Hellenius could be in here. Oh no, Dyer, back to Hellenius. Robertson goes in well and wins it. Well played. Robertson's been quite good since signing actually. He's just done the job at left back. Grealish looking for Boye, can't find him, and we're going to be caught out here again. This defence is just not looking good enough today. And Timo Horn manages to pull out a point-blank save and to keep this game at one apiece, and he has to pull out another one to deny Jordan Much with a flick-on header. So it's been a very, very dodgy game from ourselves. We really haven't been that good, and they're getting a consecutive amount of corners, which is very risky, considering how powerful corners are in this year's game. Is Boye maybe a chance on the break? No chance with that sort of a pass being played. So, like, this game has settled down. You know, 70 minutes gone now. We're approaching the end of the game. I'd love to get a win out of this game, but with the way the stats are going, you gotta probably take it a little bit easy. We're gonna bring on Cow for Jackie Grealish. Which is a bit of a risky move, I suppose. Cow really not, what am I trying to say, not renowned in the Premier League to be like, he hasn't had many games in the Premier League, but we might as well give him a go. Well, they might have a late chance here. Sandro, Valencia, Trippier. Balanta does really well there. And Robertson now, can he forge an attack? Not with that sort of a pass. And instead it leaves us stretched. And Timo Horn pulls out another fantastic save. And we cling on here for this 1-1. And it looks like we might get a 1-1 out of it. I think going into the game, if you told me we were going to get a 1-1, I'd be a little bit disappointed. But considering I think how the game went, you have to say a 1-1 was a bit of a blessing for ourselves, as we do drop down to 5th. But I suppose that was going to happen with Spurs having that game in hand, and now they're ahead of us and they still have the game in hand, so that's not good. Anyway, that really does conclude the next episode. The next episode will be the Manchester United game away from home at Old Trafford, which will be a very tricky task. Between then and now, we've got a tough game at home to Spurs next. Then we travel to Hull, home to Everton, away to Leicester, and home to Wigan, which is not a bad little period, before City away. Then we've got the FA Cup third round, and then another nice little period of Forest, Watford and Swansea for Liverpool. And then we follow that up with Man U. Then we have Arsenal after that and Chelsea after that. So we've got a 4-game stretch there right at the end of January to early February, which is really one that I'm dreading. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. I'll see you guys later.